Legal empowerment still remains to be an important aid for the realization of human rights carved under legal education. It is for this reason that Kituo cha Sheria uses a legal empowerment to ensure that the overall objective of access to justice is achieved. The need for legal empowerment being on a high demand, especially in remand prisons where convicts are held, pending hearing and determination of their cases. Fortunately for us all, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 guarantees the right of the accused person, which includes the right to fair hearing under Article 50 and the umbrella rights of the arrested person under Article 49. Under the pre-trial detention project dubbed human rights violation occurring during the pre-trial detention, Kituo cha Sheria Legal Aid and Education Program and Open Society Institute of East Africa Crime and Criminal Justice Department have been implementing the project, which seeks to address the right of the person in pre-trial detention, with the objective being to streamline the criminal justice system of Kenya in a bid to advance human rights and justice by protecting the rights of the accused persons. Kituo ventured into partnership with the prisons in Nairobi and Mombasa with the aim to address the issues affecting the prisoners. One successful venture was Shimo la Tewa Prison in Mombasa and Kamiti Maximum Prison, where Kituo trained 38 paralegals and opened a justice center at the prison. Here, the paralegals serve as the first point of contact for the remandees in need of legal aid and advice. On the 30th of December 2012, Kituo was at it again, this time round at Lang'ata Women's Maximum Prison. The day's event, which was coordinated by Chief Inspector Jacqueline Onyango in collaboration with Kituo's Amy Ongeso, was kicked off by the officer in charge of Lang'ata Women's Prison, Senior Superintendent Madam Elizabeth Olasa, who welcomed all that were in attendance.
On behalf of the family of Lang'ata Women's Prison, I would like to say, welcome to Lang'ata. Feel at home, feel free, and enjoy your stay here today.
There was a brief entertainment session that saw several inmate groups performing, which included the Eagle Sakata, a Lang'ata detainees dance team. An oral narrative by Belden Mutuo entitled A Letter to the Judiciary.
You sent me here, Mr. Judiciary. You say that I should wait for 6 months, 3 years, 6 years, and now it's 9 years. I have been patiently waiting for you to remember me and do something. Reforms. It has been your family name now, but I've never seen a child born of this name. Thank you. But I've never seen a child born of this name. Remember Articles 49 and 50 of the new Kenyan Constitution. They talk about the rights of an accused person and the right to a fair hearing. Does it sound familiar to you? When you talk, I sit down and listen. And at that time, all my ears and eyes are on you. But when I want to talk and I want you to listen to me, you do nothing but give me excuses to why you won't listen to me. Please do something, Mr. Judiciary.
and a skit illustrating court proceedings. This was especially helpful in highlighting some of the loopholes that might affect a verdict.
That the evidence that I shall give before this honorable court shall be the truth, nothing but the whole truth. So help me God.
Was helping her to light the cigarette. That's when the accused person, the wife now, she came from the washroom.
Sorry to stop you again. Can you explain to this court how she was lighting that cigarette?
Yes, my lord.
Because we need even the least detail in this to decide this case.
Yes, my lord.
Thank you. Explain.
You were not at work that day.
I was at work, my lord.
Yes or no?
No, I was at work.
To start off the event was the acting executive director for Kituo cha Sheria, Ms. Gertrude Angote, who in her opening remarks stated by recounting the accomplishments Kituo cha Sheria had realized as the oldest legal aid providing organization in Kenya for the poor and the marginalized.
Kituo it has existed as the oldest legal aid providing organization in Kenya. Ndio ya kwanza kabisa kupatiana msaada kwa wale watu ambao hawezi lipa wakili na wale hawezi fanya kesi. Kwa hivyo tuko na bahati sana kukuwa na shirika kama hili, na tumefanya kazi mingi kwa mambo ya shamba, mambo ya kule tunatenda kazi ambayo tunaita labor, mambo ya housing, mambo ya rights za refugees, mambo ya rights za IDPs, among others.
She encouraged the paralegals to train their untrained colleagues and empower them with the understanding of their rights, urging them to indulge in their hearings and ensure proper representation.
Kituo would want to see you empowered. Kituo haitaki kuona mnyonge baada tumewasomesha. We want to see you empowered and be able to look up as people who know that you belong to a human rights movement or human rights agenda, that you and me are the same. And as Madam said, apart from kutembea huko nje, we all should belong as a country and as a people. And so it is in our interest to ensure that you feel empowered after this training, and you, the graduates today, should be able to empower those who have not graduated. And those ones should also be able to empower those who will come. So empowerment, empowerment, empowerment is something that we really, really pray for.
She also championed for the provision of basic amenities in the prisons to facilitate decency.
Secondly, is that we would like ultimately to see that all of you are able to live in a decent environment. That even the Constitution of Kenya now guarantees human dignity, where you are supposed to feel like a human being, to live like a human being. So basic amenities, mambo ile ya choo ya paper bag, mambo ile ya people, washing their hands in an unhealthy environment. It is something that we would not want to see. So together again, we would like to see that inmates have basic amenities and they are able to, more importantly, access justice through fair trial.
On the civic rights for the detainees, Ms. Angote noted the relentless appeal by Kituo cha Sheria to have the government facilitate the inmates' participation in general elections, on which she said was a provision of the Constitution.
It is in our interest now, and looking that we have an election coming in March, it is in our bigger interest. Now that hakuna sheria, there is no law that is obstructing the realization of your civic right to vote. The Constitution is very clear that every person in this country should be able to participate in the vote. We would like, and we are calling upon the IEBC, we have written to them, and we would like to see the IEBC come here and register you and allow you to vote leaders who will be able to take this country forward.
Also in attendance was Mr. Dismas Omondi, a former inmate at the Shimolatewa Maximum Prison, who after having trained as a paralegal was able to successfully represent himself in an appeal and managed to earn an acquittal.
By the time I was preparing myself, that was in 2007, is when Kituo cha Sheria came into prison. And under the leadership of Wanini Keriri, Kituo was allowed in, and we were the first lot to be trained in 2007. That was in July, and we were 30 participants, or 30 paralegals who were trained and graduated.
This was a big motivation for the inmates, especially since most of them had pending cases in the courts.
Most of the time, we were discussing our files with our colleagues. We were doing like group teamwork. If today maybe there was a case which was to go before the appeal, we were sitting as a team and discussing the same case and giving some grounds so that that person can get some loopholes for his appeal.
Mr. Somista Halwale, an advocate in the High Court, addressed the topic of paralegalism and the new constitution as was provided for in Article 51, which in reference to the detainees allows equal rights for all.
With the strength that Article 51(1) gives you, basically what it does, it allows you to enjoy, in as much as it appreciates that you are an inmate and Sonista is not an inmate. The fact that you are an inmate should not allow Sonista to enjoy better rights than Caro or Jen or one of my good friends, or even my good friends on the other end. 51(1) allows all of us to be equal, because all of us is easy kama shamba la wanyama, that some animals are better than the other.
He expressed frustration on the wastage of skills, citing that most trained paralegals never practice, rendering all efforts employed in training them futile.
Unfortunately, if we decide to call a spade, and that is what I'm going to do, at the moment, paralegalism, as Amy has said, we are being frustrated. We are training very many people, but now when you train people and they go and that wisdom or knowledge that they have got, they can't use it to benefit other people. It is frustrating.
He therefore recommended that a base for the paralegals be set for the acknowledgement as provided in Articles 52 and 22 of the Constitution, which he noted allowed legal representation by any trained person in matters of law.
We as Kituo have really tried to ensure that we use the same Constitution to give paralegals a basis. Let paralegals be acknowledged. We are hoping that by the petition that Kituo is doing, and we are hoping that other civil rights organizations will come on board, we will be able to push the Chief Justice to do. But at the moment, don't let your knowledge go to waste. Use it in drafting documents and advising your colleagues as they go to court and do other stuff.
Speaking on the rights of the prisoners to vote, Ms. Caroline Kasoa, an advocate of the High Court based in Kakamega, started off with much optimism on the programs. She was, however, quick to point out that rights came with responsibilities and further urged the prisoners to register and be equipped with the necessary documents to facilitate their right to vote.
We keep on saying rights, rights, rights. You can't have a right if you do not have a duty. What is the duty of the citizen towards elections? To register, to vote, to have the identification necessary to go and vote, and to be facilitated in case they are in a net.
She went ahead to point out Article 81, 83 and 86 as provisions for the rights to political representation for all, including detainees. She did not shy away from calling upon the IEBC to be accountable for their roles in registering everyone and to facilitate their voting, which she said was a universal sovereign right.
The IEBC is duty-bound. You have your right to vote. It is their duty to come and register you and facilitate you to vote. As Gertrude said, we are no longer in a begging situation. These are our rights.
She urged the paralegals to take their roles seriously and use the opportunity to change their lives.
I was telling Gertrude, I know you are here for various reasons, but allow me to say that I know